I'm here with famous actor Nabil Elouahabi, and I'm going to ask him some pretty cool questions. So thanks for chatting to us, Nabil. So I'd like to get the question started with: have you always envisaged yourself being an actor?
No, is the short answer. I started acting. I basically picked up acting as a GCSE retake drama when I was a young man, and I needed to find something to fill in one of these little slots at school. I thought, what would be easy? What would be kind of trouble-free and easy, and I could just pass like that. And I thought, oh, well, drama's easy. All I have to do is sit around pretending I'm a tree and all this kind of nonsense. And then when I started it, I found out rather quickly it was the one thing that I started turning up early for and staying late for. Finally, I found something I really love doing. So that's how I kind of started that process. So yeah, that's it.
And you've been in some pretty successful pictures, films on both sides of the scale, in TV and film, like Zero Dark 30, The Sum of All Fears, but then Eastenders, Only Fools and Horses, what have you. Could you just describe some differences between shooting for films and TV shows, and which you prefer? Or
yeah, of course. I mean, I think firstly it has to be underpinned by one huge fact, which is I'm really fortunate.
Yeah.
As I go further along in my career, it dawns on me how many actors just never get the opportunity to work. They just don't, and it really makes me feel very gracious really about having been able to fulfill my dream. When it comes to the difference between those kind of jobs, I mean, you know, when you're doing a film, for instance, really you're kind of being flown in, you know, depending on what you're doing in the film, first and foremost. If you're one of the leads, then pretty much you're there from the beginning to the end, and you're very much part of the whole process. But ultimately in film, my feeling is it's always the director's medium, you know. You're coming in to kind of you're the cog in that little puzzle that they're doing. So it can be frustrating in the sense that, you know, you may come in, you have 2 or 3 scenes in something, you literally just come in, you do those 2 or 3 scenes and you go back. You'll never really have an opportunity to embed with the cast, to have that camaraderie that you have if you do, say, theatre, which I'll come on to. TV, very different again. TV, when I was doing things like the most obvious things would probably be Eastenders, very much a kind of factory scenario. You know, you're very much coming in, you don't have that much time to concentrate on any detail. You're coming in, you're learning your lines and you're knocking them out. You're literally doing that. That in itself is a machinery. And again, that can be slightly dissatisfying. It really depends on what you want from anything, you know? But this always comes back to the same thing. So what do you want? Now for me, what I wanted, or what I find I want, is an engagement in the product, what you're doing, and the people that you're doing it with. When you've got both of those things are ticked for me, I feel very, very fulfilled. And if you can get paid for that, even better. So today, if I were to say what's a job that I really felt very kind of fulfilled by, there was a TV job that I did for ABC called The Path to 9/11, when I was playing a character called Ramsey Youssef in 2005 we filmed it. And it was based on the World Trade Center bomber, the first World Trade Center bomber, and it kind of showed the events between 1993 and 2001, and it looked at the 7 or 8 years in between that gap. I played one of the main protagonists, Harvey Keitel, Donnie Wahlberg, an amazing cast. But above and beyond the name cast, the job itself was really fulfilling because I was able to work with the director, and the writer in detail. So I was able to do that creative thing that you do. Oh, that's not working. Oh, that's working. Okay, let's do it. Let's rock it. So that was the TV thing that gave me that feeling.
if you were to come back to Earth as any animal other than a human, what would the animal be?
I don't know. I really don't know. Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't know. What animal would I be? What animal would I come back? What would be a kind of good animal? Probably a cat, because they kind of just chill and do their own thing and get looked after. I'm heavily biased because I watched the documentary The Secret Lives of Cats recently, and I was fascinated by them.
So how important do you think a company like Boo Bod is to an aspiring creative?
I think it's the difference between feeling that you can plug into something and continue and not.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as that. I mean, interesting talking to you and your team earlier. It's interesting that you say you were living geographically somewhere and you decided to move somewhere else. You decided to plug in. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Except this is online, Same thing. You want to find that community, and it gives people that little bit of, oh, I can do it. Oh yes, I can. It's just that little. It's always about that bit of energy that can push you forward. So I think it's crucial.
Well, Nabil, thanks so much for having a chat with us and giving an insight into your life and your path thus far. It's been a real pleasure for me to speak to you. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Mine, my man. Thank you.